Hello everyone, this is Jason, and today we're talking about different stages of capitalism. Now, before we go into the lecture material, I just want to do a little review on capitalism and its origin. Now, capitalism, before capitalism, there is feudalism. Now, feudalism, it's changed, well, it's forced into capitalism through one thing, and it's called primitive accumulation. Primitive. Now, what primitive accumulation is and how it directly relates to capitalism is that primitive accumulation uh, it's the process which people are displaced from a land. People are stripped off the means of production. So their access to the means of production is stripped off from, and they become wage workers. So they have a new relation to the means of production. Now, because capitalism is a mode of production, right? The different modes of production, capitalism is one mode of production. And mode of production is consists of means of production, which is what creates products. Like food, it's products, and they are created through land. So land, it's a kind of sort of means of production or factories or anything like that. And relation of production, it's people's relationship to this production. So are they wage workers? Do they own it? Now, capitalism is, well, as some of you guys probably remember, it's those peasants are displaced from their lands through enclosure. So enclosure, it's the legal way that the English peasants are driven off of their land legally. Remember, now that's the origin of capitalism and some key concepts that we've just reviewed. Now let's talk about the different stages of capitalism, how it expands. Now, many believe that colonialism is it's the emergence of a world system, and that's how capitalism expand. So the elite capitalists from the West or from England and Europe expanded their colonies to North America and Africa, and therefore creates a bigger world system of capitalism. Now, uh, there's two ways that capitalism can expand. One of them being intensive uh, expansion, and the other one is extensive expansion. Now we'll explain the easy one first. So extensive expansion, it's the outward geographic expansion of commodification. So it's the physical. So this, if a country gets bigger by waging wars on nearby countries and forcing them into capitalism, now that's a type of extensive expansion, or any sort of means that just creates more area for capitalism. So geographic, intensive expansion. It could be a little tricky to understand, but it's still relatively easy. So it's a deepening of commodification. So in a society where, let's say, people sell different things to each other to make money, right? You have products. And what intensive expansion is, what once was not considered a commodity, it's now a commodity. So, for example, maybe a very, very long time ago, the amount of friends you have, it's not something that you can use money to buy or to purchase. But now, or like the amount of likes, right? When Facebook first came out, there was no such thing. But now, on Instagram or Facebook or social media, there's people actually buying fans and followers to increase their influence, and that is a type of intensive expansion. So it's a deepening of commodification. We'll go to the next page. Uh, so yeah, so it's three stages form of capitalism. Now, stage one is the free market capitalism. There's colonial, post-colonial time period. So this is the very beginning of capitalism. It's achieved, well, it expands through extensive expansion. So just geographic, make more colonies in different parts of the world. Now, core periphery inequalities emerged. So the core periphery is different. So the core, it's basically like England or the center of capital, and periphery is where like products are produced and to benefit the poor. So an example would be, say, London and a colony in the coast of Africa. So London is the center of economy and politics. So these slaves or farmers in the colony and workers that produce things that ultimately will improve the core, so it will boost London's economy. So this is the inequality between core and periphery, and this nowadays we can see this as like a third world country, or an easy way to understand this would be like third world country compared to a first world country. So like the first world country has the headquarters of these big corporates, and it's economically rich, high standard of living of life, while the third world country does all the dirty work for them. There's the factory there that's polluting the environment, or there's just all kinds of bad things going on in the third world country due to these corporates. But they're ultimately suffering this to provide more capital for the core. Now, in the first stage of capitalism, free market capitalism, there's a world economy. So, what a world economy is that so there's different nations. So, there are like different nations. Let's say this is nation one, nation two, nation three. They're located in different geographic areas, and they're all each capitalist countries. Now, in a world economy, each government, each nation protects its very own capitalists, so they make policies that benefit their very own, and they only communicate or interact through trading. So there's different trading lines. Now this is a world economy. It is different from a global economy, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, there's formation of a small capitalist class in the South. So that's basically like in the colonies. So what's you always hear like the South and North, and for those that don't quite get it, the South just means like less developed country, and North is the more developed countries. Because if you look at the map, like England, America, Europe, it's more of in the northern hemisphere, like northern hemisphere, and then that's really bad drawing of maybe North America, and then the poorer countries are normally located in the South America, Africa. Yeah, it's just so like formation of small capitalist class in the South because of expansion of capitalism. Now, states intervenes only on behalf of the capitalist class. That's related to the world economy. Uh, Protecting national capitalists in competition with foreign capitalists. Now, there's different theory regarding this, whether it being the capitalist class in control of the government, or because there's like the top of the government officials are actual capitalists, or they're different groups, but the capitalist class has more influence on the politicians. But that will be quite irrelevant to the course material. I'm just giving you one of the theories.